Here is Chief Meteorologist Chase Jones.
Well, we kept our eye on the cloud cover making its way in. Some pretty impressive cumulonimbus clouds tried to make their way in with some light rain, but just not enough flooding. No one's going to disagree with that, so it's just increasing the humidity values across the entire Concho Valley as we could push up into the mid-90s by tomorrow. But it was a beautiful day out there, definitely cooperative for cleaning up. Now, temperatures over the last 24 hours dealing with that unique circulation that's going counterclockwise instead of clockwise for a normal low pressure, helping us fight back and forth with those lower 70s, making that gradual warm up into those mid-80s. Then you're seeing us cool off pretty normally, pretty standard right now, and we're going to drop all the way back down into those lower 70s. And I'm on the lookout for a little bit of overnight rain, so be prepared for a slick start. But if I get it wrong, no one's going to disagree with that either. 80 in San Angelo, everybody else not really in a combination of lower 80s, if not those upper 70s across the entire area. Always looking for 10 degrees even at night. 78 in Sterling City, 79 down there in Junction, looking like a good 4 if not 5 degrees across the entire Concho Valley for a beautiful night. I cannot believe that we are almost done with July, with summer if not fall right around the corner. Now, dew points are way up there in those 70s and those 60s, while humidity indices are also on the rise, up about 30% from earlier today, yesterday, up about from 30% from earlier today. And then we're going to see how that cloud cover sort of wrings itself out if it wants to dry out by tomorrow. Now, concentrations of orange still hovering around the Gulf Coast. We're just going to be tracking it for the next couple days, if not the rest of the week, as it could push some moisture into the Concho Valley, but we're on the lookout for it to sort of push it out of the area and hover around sort of the Sierra Madres and the Panhandle again. Now, upper level pattern. I just keep getting ahead of myself. I just want to get to water vapor imagery so you guys get a better idea of how it's interacting with the moisture tracker and that high pressure. Usually those two models, they're really just showing you what the model wants it to do, is what it could project. But the water vapor imagery really just showing you current conditions, what's happening right now. So how accurate is this model? So when we switch over to water vapor, I'm tracking that low pressure system off the west coast, waiting for that cold air to make its way in. Across the Sierra Madre, somewhere around Nevada, I'm keeping my eye on that dry air as it lifts the moisture up and around the Rocky Mountains. Of course, New Mexico's been dealing with a whole lot of flash flooding. Around the Concho Valley, you see this monster storm that's developing around Del Rio. That's the one that has me on the lookout for a little bit of overnight rain. And then, of course, behind me, there's the circulation around Georgia. Wait until it hits the Gulf Coast. We'll see how much moisture it picks up out of the sea surface. Now, severe weather outlook taking us still across Montana, really across the northern part of the nation. It's been that way for the entire summer. I don't know if you guys remember the transition into July, but a whole lot of severe weather and tornadoes up in Minnesota. It's still going on. Down at the surface, getting a better idea of some of the alerts going on. Finally, those high wind alerts have died down, but you can still see a lot of those high winds pushing across Nevada, parts of California. Severe weather has died down around the Dakotas as things cool off around sunset, but strong convection still going strong across Colorado, New Mexico, and again, parts of Del Rio, taking you down to sort of our area because I want to get a better idea of the rain as this cloud cover dissipates over the area. Take a good look. Radar not showing us a whole lot of moisture, but a lot of high cloud cover pushing up towards the north. Now, Futurecast is going to give you a better idea of where the storms are supposed to be, so you see how it likes to overestimate. You see where the thunderstorm activity could make its way in by tonight, but by tomorrow afternoon, it's going to try again, if not go around the Concho Valley. Now, I was showing Zoe a map of the topography around the area. It's much like a dome around the Edwards Plateau. It's what causes a lot of this moisture to go around the Concho Valley. I will find a way to get this image up there so you guys can see it. So tonight, all the way back down into those 70s, I'm on the lookout for some of that thunderstorm activity. Then tomorrow, a good run at those lower 90s, so we're still practicing hot weather safety, but on the lookout for some afternoon thunderstorm activity. That will be the case as we make our way closer towards the end of the weekend, because we're on the sort of 4th week of July with 5 in there. And of course, I'm always going to talk about clear the shelters as we still deal with some of these warmer temperatures, but after the weekend, we're going to drop right back down into those 90s with the return of some of those rain chances, while those overnight lows just stay in those lower 70s. Stay tuned. We'll have more of the break. You're watching KSAN News at 10.